Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Hello and thank you for joining the midweek edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozugbakun. Today on the program, APC National Working Committee members kick against the decision of party to nominate officers of the 10th National Assembly, say party cannot impose leaders on the lawmakers. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mayor Akigbalu. If you're ready, let the hangout start now.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Our planet, our home, threatened by man's activities with fears of mass extinction on the rise. On Green Angle, we examine the issues that affect our environment, seek solutions to put us on track to secure and restore a cleaner and greener world for generations to come.
Taraba is not called nature's gift to the nation for nothing. It has several landmarks and natural endowments, serving as tourist haven. It's home to more than 40 tribes and languages that have existed for centuries. Get to know more about these resources and how Governor Darius Ishaku is harnessing them to bring greater developments to the state. On Discover Taraba.
Wherever you see destruction, it's because God is absent. There is no destruction in God. So who started killing from Genesis? Satan. Jesus exposed him. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But I am come that you may have life and have it how much? More abundantly. I prophesy as your amen is coming like thunder. Whatever is yours, receive it now.
Hello and thank you for joining the midweek edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozugbakun. Today on the program, APC lawmakers kick against decision of party to nominate officers of the 10th National Assembly as party cannot impose leaders on lawmakers. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mayor Akigbalu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. The separation of the chaff from the Greens has begun at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. The Action People's Party, APP, has withdrawn its petition against the victory of Bola Tinubu in the February 25th presidential election. At the resumed court session, the party's lawyer, Obed Agu, applied for a withdrawal of the petition. Counsel to INEC Abubakar Mahmood, that of Tinubu, Wole Olanipekun, and APC Lateef Fagbemi did not oppose the application. Consequently, the petition was dismissed. The Action Alliance, AA, has also withdrawn its petition against Tinubu at the tribunal. Jide, what is happening? 5 parties went to, out of 18 political parties that took part in the presidential election, 5 parties went to court and now withdrawing before the hearing of the case. What is this telling us?
Well, it makes sense that this party, whose presidential candidate polled a paltry 12,839 votes.
12,839.
Against someone who polled 8.8 million. Challenging the victory of someone who polled, you polled 12,000.
12,000.
And you are challenging someone who polled 8.8 million. Now, they have said, okay, that they are no longer interested. I think it makes sense to not waste the time of the court. But I just want to candidates. They also complain about the conduct of the exercise by INEC itself. So, but it has pleased them now to
withdraw. Action Alliance.
Yes, to withdraw the petition that they filed against the president-elect. So, it's not our business to find out why they made their U-turn.
Okay.
So what is important is that the number of petitioners, the number of parties that have come up with petitions has reduced. So the tribunal has
just 3 to concentrate on.
Yes, they'll be able to focus on those ones who have perhaps more serious stake or more serious, how do I describe it?
I'm sure my friend Omoyele Sowore would have performed better than this political party, the Action People's Party, APP, and the Action Alliance that went to the tribunal.
Yes, I think there's a difference. You know, when you say you want to go to the tribunal, it's within your rights to do so, and you can allege whatever you like. But now we are in the business end of things. So when you allege, you have to now come to court with proof. So now it's dawning on some of these parties that went in the first place that they don't even have facts to prove.
Because you have to back it up.
Their case. Because you have to back it up. You see, that is why it's going to be interesting when we look at even the other parties.
And you join them in the suit.
Yeah.
If you join them in the suit, they
defend the conduct
to defend themselves.
Yes.
I don't understand. In this case that Adeleke just won,
yes,
INEC defended
the conduct
of
that exercise
against the APC.
Yes, in fact, that was the key. So
yes, and INEC will provide all material relevant to show that election was conducted in compliance with the electoral law. So for INEC that you have sued to defend itself, is this such a bad thing? You are the one who sued INEC. INEC has defended itself. You are now saying that they are biased against a party. I mean, the level of risk. If Binani goes to court over that Fintiri matter, INEC will go there to defend that election and Fintiri's victory. Yes. It's the natural thing. If you don't want them to defend themselves, why did we join them in the suit? Why did we join them in the petition? And of course, you know, if you do not join INEC,
no, on technical grounds,
dead on arrival.
Dead on arrival.
So this is the thing. So journalists, journalists.
You know, the problem with journalists, the problem with journalists, you see, the problem is that when you put emotions into what
That is
you
the
do,
thing.
when you put emotions into what you do, you will not be as
thoughtful
as you should be. You understand? Because already there is emotions.
You're overwhelmed by emotion.
You already have a picture of what you want to happen. Instead of you to look at it as a professional, to be able to tell them. That is why sometimes when I listen to some analysts on TV, and because they have sympathy for one party or the other, they keep deluding themselves. And when they want to talk, they will say, oh, there should be justice.
Now, fake news. You can't even differentiate truth from falsehood these days, because they will couch falsehood they will dress it in roses. You know, you think that this thing must be true. Later on, you discover it's a time that we have to be careful. You can't be telling people that INEC is biased because INEC went to court to file its own.
I mean, of course they will do that.
Whatever that is expected of them, because you sue them.
And when they are
to fight their defense,
and in defending themselves, they have to defend the process that they. So when you now failed, they cannot go back and be telling people that God didn't tell them.
No, God ordained somebody to win the election, and another person came to rig it.
The pastor now tell us that he phones God, that he make phone calls to God. What have they taken us for? People who are moral midgets. Moral midgets.
One is in Kiriki.
Behaving like they are Puritans, they are better than the rest of
them. Yes, he said they are coming for him because of his prediction.
Yes,
meanwhile, it was your pastor that took him to court.
Even we that we have never called ourselves Puritans, we have never called ourselves fantastic Christians, we still have the capacity to resist temptation. We have the capacity to resist temptation. When temptation is dressed up.
Southwest Nigeria, the time for politics is over, and now is the time for governance. The immediate past governor of the state, Gboyega Oyetola, has accepted the ruling of the Supreme Court, which upheld the election of Senator Ademola Adeleke as governor. He congratulated Governor Adeleke and urged him to focus on good governance. Oyetola also urged the All Progressive Congress, APC, in the state to accept the court verdict. The president-elect, Bola Tinubu, has also congratulated Governor Adeleke for his victory, asking him to settle down and serve the people. The president-elect, that's like an endorsement, and
that's a very fatherly, very dignified.
He's a president to all, not a president of
course.
Well, All Progressive Congress.
Don't forget, in Osun, he lost the election narrowly in Osun, which means that he has tremendous support there. So a very narrow victory for elevated impunity to dizzying heights. In 2007, what did they do? They made Amechi.
Amechi, yes.
Governor.
That
was not asked to be made governor.
Yes.
He said, the nomination candidate of the party.
Yes.
And they did not just do that. They then said, go and swear him in.
If you remember,
said they did that to teach a lesson that impunity does not pay.
He said the nomination has kill leg. Obasanjo said Amechi's nomination has kill leg, and Supreme Court now went
and strengthened the kill leg.
You know, so this is the thing. The Supreme Court has come up with this judgment. There are lessons to learn. Even me, when I was reading the judgment, I said, so in future I know a judge would not fail to write the judgment. Whether you are concurring with the lead judge or not, write your own findings, your own conclusions, put it in writing,
to be a
not just to sign. They said for that reason alone, it rendered that judgment a nullity. And there were other reasons that they gave, like the forensic analyst introduced himself in a manner that suggested that he was close to the APC. And they said, no, for the fact that he was close to the APC, his findings can never be objective. That's another lesson, that in future when you want to go for this kind of thing, you want to do forensic analysis and you want the result to be accepted, you've got to find someone who is neutral. So Oyetola has lost, but there are lessons that we can pick up from this. And it's down, but it's not out. We've seen people lost and came back.
Tinubu described the president-elect described Oyetola as somebody that did not soil his name, that did not impugn his name
which is true.
in 4 years of his governorship. While congratulating Ademola Adeleke, he said Oyetola gave a good account of himself.
When you look at
you
look at his 4 years in office, he did reasonably well. There's no doubt about that. And I want to also commend him for congratulating Governor Adeleke, because yes, it's within your rights to go to court. It is part of the process. If you don't agree with whatever verdict, you understand, the umpire came up with, you have every right to go to court, up to the Supreme Court. But when you get to the Supreme Court and there is judgment, as a statesman, it is good for you to move on. So by congratulating Governor Adeleke, that is very good, because it is also send messages to the court, to the supporters, to say, look, this is not a do or die matter.
You submitted your dissing to the
court, and the court has adjudged that Governor Adeleke was duly elected. And in the interest of Osun State, it's good for everybody to move forward.
It's the highest court in the land.
And it also shows that, in fairness, Governor Adeleke shows how popular Governor Adeleke is with his people. 4 years ago, he lost on technical grounds because of the rerun. This time, he won again. And during the presidential election, he was able to also deliver that state to the presidential candidate of his party. So there's no doubt that he's a very popular politician in his state. And I want to congratulate him.
His family is very popular.
Yes.
So, wish them the best of luck, especially Governor Adeleke. We need a lot of that luck and God's knowledge.
Doesn't have a lot of money
to govern Osun State.
He has to prove people wrong, because people see him as just a dancing machine. So he has to show that.
But when you look at his 100 days, he has done reasonably well in his 100 days.
Do so much for the people beyond just seizing at every opportunity to dance.
Because Osun State is in financial.
Yes, they don't. It's one of the one of the states that doesn't really have enough.
So you need to.
So you have to
heavily indebted.
So you have to be creative to be able to govern that state.
You have to be creative.
You have to be creative
to keep
be able
the state
to get the money
afloat.
To get the state. But I think so far he has done reasonably well in his first 100 days.
All right, we'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this time out.
Solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Now that Nigeria's next president has been decided at the poll on February 25, attention is shifted to May 29 Inauguration Day, the commencement of a new 4-year tenure of Nigeria's 16th president since 1960, when the country gained independence. It's going to be the 7th inauguration ceremony since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1999. And President-elect Bola Tinubu and Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima will take the oath of office. Join me, Nifebi Ogutoye, every weekday on TVC News for the countdown to the historic May 29 Inauguration Day, as we bring you all updates, political intrigues, and in-depth analysis of people and events that you need to know. The countdown to May 29 Inauguration Day, live at 6 p.m. every weekday, only on TVC News.
Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field,
Taking you through as it happens.
It's fast-paced, hard-hitting,
With investigations that matter.
bringing in news that affects your life.
With sport, entertainment and business news so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage with depth.
Every night.
Thank you for staying with us. It appears the decision of the All Progressive Congress, APC, to nominate candidates for principal positions of the 10th National Assembly has stirred the hornet's nest. Some members of the House of Representatives, led by Deputy Speaker Ahmed Wasi, have rejected the consensus list of the House of Representatives released by the National Working Committee of the All Progressive Congress, APC. The members visited the APC national headquarters in Abuja to register their displeasure over the lists released by the party, saying many of them were not consulted. In his response, the APC national chairman, Abdullahi Abdamo, said the party would do more consultations and come up with a favorable decision. Let's share the story with you.
It is better. It is not let the wrongs that is meted. That thing is wrong. So let the wrong that is meted be righted. Unless this is done and justice is done, sir, our party should not hope that our loyalty will be guaranteed at the detriment of justice, peace and fairness. We will respect justice, unity and peace, equity in the chamber. But only if your instruction is in line with this principle of our party. So I do not hope that we that come here will succumb to any instruction and any directive given to us. The way and manner President is chosen, leadership of the National Assembly too should be given that opportunity to choose its own leader, zone it, allow the zone to choose whosoever, allow the members to choose whosoever they want to choose from the zone for the betterment of democracy.
If today, as of today, the party said we've zoned to Northwest, I have to sit and think, because now the party is zoning the Deputy Senate President and the Speaker to the same zone. We've been in this assembly, sir. There's no time two presiding officers are zoned to one area. It has never happened. And in our discussion here, on our inauguration day, it's what happens in the Senate that will determine what is going to happen in the House. So we need to sit down and look at it. We need to sit down and look at it. we might produce the Senate President from a different zone. It has happened in 2015. So as a partisan, we are pleading, we need to sit again with all of us for more consultations.
All right. Julie, the one of the Senate, the party did it, and with the way it was taken and everything, you will know that, look, this will go a long way. Consultation were made and everything, and Akpabio has been moving around and everything. Yeah. So it will not bring the kind of controversy that we are witnessing in the House of Representatives now. Right now, within the All Progressive Congress in the House of Representatives, they are saying that they were not carried along, they are saying that they were not consulted, and even the Ondo State governor before this program are just written that what kind of thing is this? That if you say you zone, you allow people to go and contest. Yes. Not that you zone, you now name the name of a single individual. So by the time the National Assembly is inaugurated on the 10th of June, it's just going to be like formality.
Well, the mistakes have been made. If you look at the way the whole thing went for the Senate, there was a lot of consultation. People were appealed to on their own. They said they were stepping down. Look at the governor of Ebonyi.
Yes. Ali Ndume.
He was hoping to contest.
Came out.
Ashwaju reached out to him, said, leave this for your brother. And he agreed. And Ashwaju has held many meetings on the Senate presidency. I remember there was a meeting that he held with the current Senate president that lasted up to like 2 a.m. on this matter. I do not recall any occasion when he had meetings with them on the House of Reps. I can't remember.
So he didn't really take this position on the House of Reps.
I can't remember.
People might just be dropping his name.
If anybody can recall when Ashwaju held the kind of meetings that he held over Akpabio's matter on the House of Reps, they should tell us. And that's why these guys are saying they were not consulted. Because there is no way that you will not consult the people who vote. You've got to reach out to them. There was a time we were hearing that Barau will contest. We are not hearing that again. What we are hearing is that Barau will be deputy. And it appears that Barau has resigned to being deputy. So that agitation for the Northwest appears to have fizzled out. Because apart from Yari, who said he will contest, I don't know any other person from the Northwest in the Senate who is really serious about contesting. You have to reach out to people. You have to talk to people. This House of Reps, they are like radicals when you are talking about the National Assembly. They never agree. They are, how do I describe it? They are people that you can't bank on them to obey the party.
Yes, because of the diversity.
Patricia Ete didn't steal a dime. 1 naira she didn't steal. They scandalized her. They chased her away. Why? Because Obasanjo imposed her. There's nothing, they didn't say, oh, she's a hairdresser, this and that. They succeeded in chasing Patricia Ete away. After they sent her packing, the committee then passed a bill, a clean bill of health, saying, Madam, you did nothing wrong. I still remember very well. Tambuwal was her whip. At that time, this Tambuwal was her whip. Dino was her public relations person. So they did that at that time. Remember Mulikat? The attempt to impose Mulikat on them, it also failed. They went for
Lugara.
They went for Tambuwal. Okay. Baja was the candidate of the party in 2015. Again, they rebelled against their party.
They went for Yakubu Dogara.
And went for Yakubu Dogara, who was the chairman of the...
Baja lost with 9 or 7 votes.
He was the chairman of the House Committee on Services. So the history will repeat itself. It's looking very, very likely. And we have been talking about this, that look, let there be fairness. Ashwaju argued that since 1999, the South had not produced a Senate president. He argued. In the case of the North Central, they've been saying, look, we have never produced a Senate president. This should be our time. They've been arguing that
North
this should be, House of Rep Speaker.
House of Rep Speaker.
They've been arguing. You can see Wase is from North Central.
Yes, just.
Gagdi, who just finished speaking, is from North Central. And they are still in the race. Now, what is interesting is all of them are coming together. Betara declared for the speaker's job. All the contestants went there with him in solidarity. On Friday, Wase would declare. And all of those, they now call themselves the group of 6. Gagdi, the youngest of them all, they would all be there to say, look, we are together. What they are going to do at the end of the day will still amount to consensus, because to not do consensus is to easily put themselves in trouble. The opposition may take the house. So they will still, among the people contesting, they will still settle for one person, because they are not ready to go into that contest, knowing that the opposition has so many members in that house. They don't want to go divided, because like 3, 4, 5 of them contest together. They will divide their votes, and maybe somebody from PDP will just easily take it. So this is a lesson. You can zone the positions. Just as Gagdi said here, you can zone the positions, but don't go to the extent of saying, after zoning, them attach names of individuals. No, you can't do that to them.
I don't think that is right.
Eventually, the individual that was chosen, that was pointed out, it seemed not to be a popular choice among his colleagues.
Because part of the problem is that, you know, the Senate is different. It's easier to manage the Senate because just 109 members.
And they are younger, they are older people.
They are older people, they are more matured, so that it's easy to reach consensus amongst them. A lot of the people in the House of Reps are younger, they were rebellious in nature.
More aggressive.
More aggressive, so, and more difficult to control. So the party should have put that in consideration, learning from the Baja experience and the Oyo woman. They should have learned, Monica, they should have learned from Monica's experience, because that the party wants you to be speaker does not mean that the party will succeed. Because, like I said, it's more difficult to control members of the House of Rep. More so when the opposition are in the majority, they have the numbers now. So, among themselves, if the opposition decides to just close rank, they can appoint the... And what I see happening is that the opposition will probably go with one of these guys. And then say,
not the choice of the party.
What are the things they are going to give us? You know, chairman of committees and all that. And if they agree, they will defeat the candidate of the party. And I don't understand why APC will make that kind of mistake.
Betara was accusing the speaker, of being behind this whole thing. And he was saying, look, I was the one who saved you. I was the one, you would not have been speaker enough for me.
But now
you turn against
in case of Baja, you cannot, you see, when you are a speaker,
he shouldn't have openly supported anybody.
The mistake he made is that he should have been subtle about it. It should have been subtle, but because if you notice, during in 2015, when Baja was supposed to be speaker, it was Tambua that made sure that pushed Dogara. I think when you are in control of the place, you also
you see, Baja made a mistake at that time. They told him to accept Dogara as his deputy. He then refused, because he felt if Dogara became his deputy, people like Tambua would be the ones controlling him. It was when he didn't agree, they then said, okay, and then propped up the other man. So that's what, in this case, all they are saying is that this Tajuddin Abbas is the Baja that brought him. Every one of them interviewed them, that's what they are saying. And they are saying, look at even lawmakers from Kaduna are saying, Tajuddin has not campaigned to a single one of them that he wants to
colleagues.
Yes. They do not even know him as far as they are concerned. He was just lucky to win in Zaria. It's not popular. That's a fact. No one will point to Gadi and say it's not popular. No one will point to Wasi and say it's not popular. No one will say Betara is not popular. But if you chose someone who does not appear to be popular with his colleagues, then you start hearing these comments that you pick someone that we don't know, someone that we do not respect, and that is what is happening.
But they didn't consult. They should have consulted.
And
if they had consulted,
popular,
if the party, you are supposed to work with the party.
I think they left it for Baja to handle.
Oh, he convinced them.
Yes.
I think he convinced them.
I think they left
and then they accepted. But I know that the way this thing is, as far as I know, Ashwaju has not insisted on anybody in the House of Reps. I'm sure of that.
Because recently, some days
we saw him openly supporting.
No, they took Tajudeen to Ashwaju to go and introduce him to Ashwaju. So I don't really think.
And we've not seen him. Yes. We've not seen him reaching out to people and saying, "Step down for Taju."
Yeah. Like the way
he's doing about the way he's gone about Akpabio's matter. Yes. Akpabio is an emotional thing for him. Akpabio may not be the best person around, but Ashwaju will record that Akpabio was the first to step down for him yes. on that night of the presidential primary.
Yes.
So he believes that he owes him a debt of gratitude. And since he's interested in this, Ashwaju is giving him that support. I've not seen him demonstrate that same
that's what I'm saying.
In the House of Reps.
I think they left it for Baja. So it's Baja that is now, but Baja made a mistake because you have to carry
your deputy is contesting.
Yes.
Your deputy is contesting. Even if you don't like your deputy, I don't know the relationship between them.
That's
but Wase and Baja. But it's as apparent as daylight that he does not support Wasi. Yes. Okay. Now, even if you do not do that, even if you would not support him, they would not want to see you openly supporting someone. Because you are the leader.
Yeah.
They will not want to see you. And it's even dangerous when the way these guys are rallying colleagues against what Baja represents now. It is extremely dangerous for Tajudeen Abbas.
Yeah.
If they bring up Tajudeen Abbas now, I can project that he will not win. He won't even come close to winning. Because they've succeeded in casting him as Baja's boy. And all of those people, Betara and the rest of them, they are very influential in the house. House leader is contesting, Dogwa. They are very influential people. They have support. So there is no way this matter can go on without hurting the party. You must find a way to get these guys to sit down in a room and say, look, gentlemen, yes, we made mistakes in this area, but try to understand this is what we want to
select.
Picking leaders for them has never worked.
This is what we want to achieve.
You saw what, even when Wike wanted to impose a minority caucus leader on them, when he brought Chinda, they rejected him and said, no, Elumelu is our man.
Yeah.
They threatened them. They said they will expel them from the party. They stood firm and made them Elumelu their minority caucus leader. So that House of Reps, they have a history of rebelling. And you know that. So the best thing to do, reach out to them sufficiently before you come out with a list to say, okay, these are your leaders. No, don't choose leaders for them. Because it will not work.
If you know who you want, you will have discussed that with them.
You reach out to them.
You reach out to them, and then on the day of the election,
might be sending a wrong signal because this is another arm of government entirely.
You have exposed those candidates in a way that even in the Senate presidency, the people are still complaining about Fabio. There's some people saying that they will not go to accept Fabio.
People like the Senate president.
It's just that there is a lot of consensus around him, so they can get away with that. But in House of Rep, if they go with Tajudeen, they can't win that election.
No, you can't.
They can't.
Now, I'm happy with what the chairman said, that they will try to.
This time,
No, that's
look at it between now and.
That's politics.
He said
That's what he will tell them. He will tell them that okay.
But I was surprised.
They will do more consultation.
No, when I saw that list,
they don't have a choice. The guys were embarrassed. That's indirectly what they were saying. That look,
no, that you will
that
that's
you
what
don't
yes.
bet on us being loyal to the party.
Loyal to the party, yes.
In fact, they told him that look, when we get to the National Assembly, you are not going to join us in voting.
Yes.
If we don't address this problem,
it's a different ballgame.
When we get to where we will vote, you will see what we will do.
That we cannot guarantee our loyalty to the party.
So that's indirectly what
and the decision of the party.
That's what
that's what's going to happen. I foresee, because you see, it will be difficult for the party now to remove Tajudeen. They should have done this consultation before announcing.
They've done it before.
Okay.
They've done it before.
Because it is obvious that the party cannot win.
Remember when Ndume wanted to contest for Senate president?
Yes.
You know, they eventually gave him majority leader.
Oh, yeah, yes.
They gave him majority leader, although he eventually gave up that position. But they gave him majority leader. They can make amends. They can make amends. And I've seen where some people gave up their position. I think even Ndume gave up his position before he said in the interest of peace. So they can still make...
But a lot of people see it as quite strange to just pinpoint an individual.
Remember,
that this person.
Remember that
that's what they do.
Baja lost the election.
In 2015, they picked Baja and the current Senate president. But they didn't win. That when Saraki now has smarted them. But they already picked the Senate president, and they picked Baja. But the party lost both then. You understand? So normally the party always come up with who they have. But the way they went about it now is like, take it or leave it.
They moved Baja now became House leader. Became
House
majority
leader,
leader. I mean, yes, majority leader at that time, after he lost.
Yes.
They now made him majority leader, yes.
To placate.
There are still some horse trading that they can do, in my view, but they can't go ahead with this.
No, they won't. I think they won't. Because the way it is, especially when you look at the strength of the opposition, they can't get away with it. The only one they can get away with is the Senate.
It's dicey with the House of Reps.
It's easy to get the consensus, and I think they have consensus in the Senate.
No, it's not even consensus. They have unanimity.
Okay.
You know, unanimity is different from consensus.
Yes.
They have unanimity because people like Yari who are saying, no, we do not agree. There are not many.
Yes.
The way Akpabio is going is all the people that matter.
And it's going about, you know, Akpabio is a very experienced politician. Yes, it's going about it very well.
At the end, they will just isolate the few people who are against him, and there won't be many. People like the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, they don't.
Ahmed Lawan, yes, doesn't.
There are not many. You know,
all right. Mayor Akipolu, thank you for your contribution today.
Thank you.
And the master himself, Babajide Kolade Toju, thank you for your contribution as always. And that's our package today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. and join us this Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.
Nigerian Idol.
Season 8, Nigerian Idol, live and direct.
I don't know the words, yeah.
You have a great work ethic. Be passionate about what you do. Talent is never enough.
Wow! You're incredible. What? Cry glory. Oh, glory.
Wagba, this season, no greet anybody specially. Nobody face show. Nobody shoe shine. Not it white.
We are back again. And I must greet you specially.
Brand new season starts on the 23rd of April, 2023.
Proudly sponsored by Biggie Drinks, Nigeria's favorite, and Techno Mobile.
Join me, Precious Amayo, as I bring you news from the epicenter
where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour when the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insight and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, where the black gold continues to flow and fuel Africa's largest economy, where the line between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Oil, gas, politics, development, and community issues all are highly valuable commodities in the Niger Delta. How do they combine, and how can they work together to spawn a new era in the Niger Delta? As he probes deep to analyze issues in the region from angles never before explored, inside the Niger Delta with Mamode Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Housing is fundamental to the physical, mental, social well-being and quality of life. In Nigeria, a large proportion of people live in slums and unplanned settlement because of their inability to own a house or rent decent accommodation. On this program, I analyze the challenges affecting the housing sector with stakeholders to provide solutions.
I don't think that anybody can pretend that we're going to close the 70 million homes gap in 5 years.
Each episode gives an insight into the housing plight of Nigerians.
The gate man here needs a house as much as the millionaire who is driving past there needs a house.
How can the housing sector be made better? Will the dream of owning a house by an average Nigerian be achieved? What strategies are the government putting in place to provide affordable and decent housing for all? Let's bring you up to speed on the happenings in the housing sector. Keep it.
It's not your regular show. It's an online interactive session where we share my views on the everyday issues that cut across politics, security, health, current affairs, governance, and so much more. I am passionate about our country. I choose to support any conversation geared towards building a better Nigeria. I am Babajide Kolade Otutoju. Join me every Saturday on TVC News YouTube channel as I discuss Nigeria and the world at large on the show Issues with Jide.
It is time for consolidation of recovery efforts in Borno State, devastated by years of insurgency and terror. From security to education, health, agriculture, infrastructure, and housing, every sector has continued to bear the stamp of Zulum's visionary leadership. Join us on Borno Restoration as we try, showcase, and analyze developmental strides of Professor Babagana Zulum and his overwhelming care for the vulnerable. Borno Restoration on TVC News every Saturday at 8 p.m. It's time to restore.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV station of the year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair, and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello everyone, it's now 19 days to the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the 16th President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on the countdown. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Remember, you can join this conversation if you use the hashtag Inauguration Day, and remember to tag me when you do that on Twitter. Let's begin with an update on election petition tribunal sitting in the nation's capital, Abuja. Today, the Action People's Party withdrew its petition filed against the president-elect, the All Progressives Congress, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. At today's pre-hearing session, counsel to the APP, Obed Agu, told the tribunal that they had filed a motion and notice seeking leave of tribunal to withdraw that petition. The respondent, Bola Tinubu, the APC and INEC didn't object to that application. The tribunal subsequently dismissed the petition, making it 2 out of 5. I'm talking about the number of petitioners who have now withdrawn from this case. We're left with the PDP, the Labour Party, and the APM. The Presidential Tribunal has also adjourned the pre-hearing session on Peter Obi and the Labour Party's petition till 17th of May at the instance of the petitioners. Celestina area has been watching this very closely and also covering this story since it began. She joins me live from Abuja. Celestina, it's the second petitioner opting out of this case within the first week of the presidential election petition court sitting, and the dismissal is sequel to both parties' withdrawal. Talk to us about the reasons for this action.
Nifemi, on Monday, the Action Alliance withdrew its petition. The reason for the withdrawal was because it ought not to have been brought before the tribunal. Their petition grounds was due to the fact that a factional presidential candidate of the Action Alliance was excluded from participating in the just concluded presidential election, and he came to court challenging his unlawful exclusion by INEC from the polls. But the tribunal made it known that unlawful exclusion from the polls is not in the purview of the tribunal to sit on or adjudicate on. It's a pre-election matter, and that is not the reason for the tribunal to be set up. So when he got a hint from the court, he withdrew his petition. However, the candidate that was recognized by INEC, Hamza Al-Mustafa, that participated in the presidential election, told the tribunal that he did not object, or he did not object to the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or he did not challenge his declaration. So that was the reason that led to the withdrawal of the petition by a factional presidential candidate of the Action Alliance. And today, the Action People's Party withdrew their petition. We spoke to the counsel to the APP, although in open tribunal today, he didn't give any reason as to why he withdrew, or he's seeking to withdraw the petition. He only said that they've looked at the petition and his client has instructed him to withdraw the petition. So after today's pre-hearing session, when that of the APP was held, we spoke to Mr. Obed Agu, who is the counsel to the APP, and told us that he met with his client yesterday, and the client told him that, well, he has looked at this petition and found no grounds for the petition to be taken by the tribunal. And not to waste the precious time of the tribunal, he withdrew the petition, and he said this was done pursuant to paragraph 29, subsection 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act.
Of course, the client calls the shot, and then the counsel follows. But let's talk about, the reactions you captured in court today. The APC candidates' lawyers, we are told, did not object to the APP's request to withdraw. What reactions did you get from lawyers, and, particularly when these withdrawals were announced?
Well, the APC council, and that's of the president-elect and the vice president-elect, they were happy because it seems that petitioners are beginning to understand that according to INEC and what was declared after the presidential election, the election was conducted in a free, fair, and just and credible manner. So they said that they are still open to any petitioner who wishes to withdraw their petition, because that will save the court the precious time. Before it was 5 petitions, now we'll have 3 petitions, narrowing it down. So time to adjudicate on these cases will be quick. as to when it was 5 initially.
You know, the talk on the street is that this is a legal firework of some sort, but you are in the heat of it. What's the vibe in the court, particularly among, you know, politicians and lawyers?
Okay, Nifemi, I can say the main event has not kick-started yet, because what we are having is pre-hearing session, more like the preliminary. And according to the Electoral Act, which is the paragraph 18 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act, the pre-hearing session needs to happen within 14 days, and the tribunal had its inaugural sitting on the 8th of May, which is on the Monday. And if we count 14 days, excluding our weekends, we'll be having next 2 weeks Thursday, which is 25th, for the pre-hearing session to elapse. So far, all parties are answering the questions in the pre-hearing information sheet CF008 brought by the tribunal, and the respondents are responding, and also they are filing different applications that should be taken before hearing commences proper. The INEC, on their own part, they filed applications, about 3 applications. Counsel to the INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, senior advocate of Nigeria, told the tribunal that they have filed 3 applications, but will move the application at the appropriate time. Also, counsel to the APC filed an application, 2 applications, one that was filed against the PDP's petition, challenging the competence of the petition, and also dismissing the PDP's response to the answers in their pre-hearing information sheet. And they have also filed a petition challenging filed an application rather, challenging the petition by the Labour Party. So all parties now, they are filing their application. The Labour Party, the PDP also filed an application seeking that the proceedings of the tribunal be televised live. That was held yesterday, and the tribunal adjourned to 11th of May, which is tomorrow, saying that hopefully the PDP will have its day to move the application. So, so far so good. This is what has happened at the tribunal so far.
The Electoral Act is clear as to the duration for this tribunal sitting, but there's also much talk about, you know, expediting this petition. Do you get the sense that these judges are under pressure to deliver in time?
Not at all, because it's 180 days, and the pre-hearing session is within the still within the 14 days, 180 days. Parties are filed, processes, they are responding, and we could say maybe if it was 5 petitions, it would have been difficult for the panel. But I believe and I know they are equal to the task, because now it's now 3 petitions. The chairman of the panel in his inaugural speech said that all parties should please behave. Let me put it that way. They shouldn't bring any frivolous or unnecessary application that would impede or truncate the process of the pre-hearing session, and also when hearing commences proper. So saying that the other pressure, not at all. Now the workload is, I can say, a bit less, from 5 to 3. So now the focus is now on the petition of the Labour Party, of the APM, and the PDP.
Let's talk about the timeline of these proceedings. What we've followed in the past 3 days are specifically to sort preliminary applications. But what is this expected to proceed to substantive cases?
Well, the substance of the case will be the issues canvassed by every petitioner. The 3 petitioners left, their grounds at which they are challenging, or they have challenged the outcome or the declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect. The tribunal chairman told every party that to quickly decide on these petitions and to give a free flow of the petition sitting or proceedings, rather, that they should identify the documents, all the evidences they will be objecting to, and the ones they will not be objecting to, and the questions for determination and the grounds at which they want to move before the court. More or less, say they should consolidate their processes and their application. So far, when the proper hearing commences, we would know the grounds at which the Labour Party, the PDP, and the APM, they are challenging the presidential election, and the evidences and the witnesses they want to call, and the evidences they have tendered to prove their case, and also the preliminary objection filed by the president-elect, the INEC, and other respondents in the various petition. So far so good. When proper hearing commences, we would know the issues canvassed by these petitioners.
There have been calls for live broadcast of election petition court proceedings. Has that been mentioned at all during the pre-hearing?
Well, that's the application by the PDP. Live broadcast is not usually the practice of the Court of Appeal, which houses the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal. Live broadcast is done on Judgment Day, the last presidential election judgment that was delivered by the tribunal, and that was in 2019. Yes, some media houses were able to televise the proceedings live, but televising the proceedings of the day live, that is not usually the method or the way of the tribunal. So we don't know if the tribunal will give a nod to the application by directing that the proceedings, the day-to-day proceedings, be televised live. But what we know is, say for the judgments, the day-to-day proceedings are not televised live. But today, counsel to the Labour Party also show his weight behind the application filed by the People's Democratic Party seeking to televise the proceedings live. He said that it is of national importance and not all Nigerians can be at the tribunal. They have the right to see it live, what is happening in the tribunal and how the processes are being carried out.
It seems we'll be getting some days of covering this story. When is the adjournment date and what do we expect on that day?
Okay, well, that of the Labour Party was held today but adjourned to 17th of May, which is next week, Wednesday. That was done on the instance of the counsel to Peter Obi and the Labour Party. He said that they still have applications to file and serve, and they need to file it and the respondents needs to respond. So it will be of no help to the tribunal if they keep coming and adjourning unnecessarily. So the tribunal needs to adjourn and give them time to file and serve the petitioners. This, he said, was a unanimous agreement by counsel to INEC, counsel to APC, and the president and vice president-elect. So the tribunal said, okay, fine, we still have time. We'll still have 2 weeks from now, by 25th of May, the pre-hearing session would have been closed. But so if you said you want to adjourn to 17th of May, it's fine. So the tribunal adjourned the petition by Labour Party to 17th of May for further pre-hearing. Yesterday, it adjourned that of the PDP and the APM to 11th of May, which is tomorrow. Initially, the tribunal said the panel will convene at 2 p.m. But today, since the withdrawal of the APP, it said, okay, now we have time and less work for us. It's not 3 petitions. We can take it tomorrow as early as 9 a.m. So parties, councils will be at the tribunal at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That is the PDP and the APM.
Judiciary correspondent Celestina Area, thank you for your time. We'll leave it with a recap of all that happened earlier today at the Presidential Election Tribunal in Abuja, and we'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
Out of the 5 petitions filed against the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, 2 petitioners have now withdrawn their petition. On Monday, the Action Alliance withdrew its petition, and today, the Action People's Party has now followed suit. At today's pre-hearing section, counsel to the APP Obed Agu told the tribunal that the party has filed a motion on notice seeking leave of the tribunal to withdraw its petition. This, he said, is brought pursuant according to paragraph 29 subsection 1234 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act. The respondents, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, APC, INEC, did not object to the application. The tribunal subsequently dismissed the petition.
Well, the grounds is nothing more than instruction from my client. I was instructed and I had a brief to file a petition. I filed the petition. I also have another brief to withdraw the petition. And that's the grounds. As a lawyer, I was prepared to take up this matter to the last minute of it. But things change. The brief is not mine. The brief is that of my client.
The tribunal also held a pre-hearing session on the petition filed by Labour Party and its presidential candidate Peter Obi, however, adjourned to 17th May for further pre-hearing on the instance of the petitioner. Counsel to Labour Party told the tribunal that due to pending applications to be filed and served, it is important that the matter be adjourned to 17th May. He noted it was a unanimous decision by the petitioner and the respondents, being INEC, APC, the president and vice president-elect. The tribunal subsequently adjourned to 17th May for further pre-hearing. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
Away from the court now, let's talk about some politicking taking place ahead of Inauguration Day. Days after the APC announced its consensus list for the leadership of the 10th National Assembly, some aggrieved members of the House of Representatives, led by Deputy Speaker Ahmed Wase, have visited the APC National Working Committee, outrightly rejecting the zoning arrangement. They are now asking that the party allows the leaders to emerge the same way the president-elect emerged at the party primaries, by zoning it and allowing members to vote. They've also alleged that Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila is imposing an unpopular member on them.
It is we and the conscience and our covenant with the people of Nigeria that will be in the hallowed chamber. So it is better, it is not let the wrongs that is meted. That thing is wrong. So let the wrong that is meted be righted. Unless this is done and justice is done, sir, our party should not hope that our loyalty will be guaranteed at the detriment of justice, peace, and fairness. We will respect justice, unity, and peace, equity in the chamber. But only if your instruction is in line with this principle of our party. So I do not hope that we that come here will succumb to any instruction and any directive given to us.
Person the speaker is trying to even pick, there are some of our colleagues in the same assembly that even don't know him, sir. That's the truth. I'm not lying. If today, assume today, the party said, we've zoned to Northwest, I have to sit and think, because now the party is zoning the Deputy Senate President and the Speaker to the same zone. We've been in this assembly, sir. There's no time two presiding officers are zoned to one area.
Habida Lawal was at that meeting in Abuja. She joins me now live for details. It's getting more dramatic, Habida. How many of these aggrieved lawmakers visited the National Working Committee today, and what exactly was their request?
Well, Nifemi, you'll agree with me that since the APC released the consensus list on Monday, it has been a roller coaster of reactions. You have people aligning with the party, and you have some saying that it is not in line with the legislative principle. And today you have some members visited the National Working Committee of the party, making known their stand, and then saying they are going to take action if the party does not review this consensus list. Out of 10 people that 10 members that visited the party secretariat today, you have 5 of them contesting the speakership seat from different zones in the country, and each presented their case to the national chairman and the entire NWC of the APC.
So how did the NWC respond in this regard?
Well, the national chairman on behalf of the NWC, Abdullah Adamu, said that it is going to go through the cases that have been presented. It is going to meet and, of course, consult widely with party members across the country to ensure that everyone is carried along in its final decision in the coming days. The inauguration of the 3rd National Assembly, we still have well over 30 days to that, and it hopes to come up with something favorable that is going to be beneficial to all party members. Again, the party does not want to have a recurrence of 2015, that is the 8th National Assembly, where the party did not come up with a sharing formula, and you had different party members making it a free-for-all, and they made an arrangement with the opposition party, and of course the party's candidates eventually did not emerge in that assembly.
So we also spoke with Felix Morka, APC spokesman on the news last night, where he explained that the party leadership is not imposing but providing direction for the members. Let's listen to him for a bit.
Yesterday, we made this announcement of the zoning for the presiding officer positions of the incoming 10th Assembly. Now, the announcement itself was the outcome of a very protracted process of engagement, of consultation with leaders of the party, with some of the members elect who have signified interest in contesting for the various principal offices of the National Assembly. Now, as with any process, you cannot have 100%, if you will, buy-in. What we've done is to offer some direction to our members in terms of what should guide them. Now, keep in mind, the party itself is not able to vote at the election of these officers. These officers, by our constitution, have the right and the duty to elect their own members to serve in these offices. What we're doing as a political party, because keep in mind, for them who were elected on the platform of APC, we are the party. We sponsored them. They are our elected members. So we have, I believe, a duty to offer some guidance to them. If you read the statement that I put out, we were very careful in making sure that everyone understood that this was an ongoing process. The consultation in this regard is continuing. And don't forget that we have upwards of 30 days, if not more, before the National Assembly is to be inaugurated. So we have plenty of time to continue the consultation.
Felix Morka there, National Publicity Secretary of the APC, drawing a line between enforcing candidates and giving party members a sense of direction as to how to vote. But Habida, earlier we saw the members of House of Reps saying that the party should toe the line of the presidential primary zone, but do not give names. But is this opposition coming only from members of the House of Reps? What about the Senate?
To some extent, the APC has a lot of housekeeping to do with the National Assembly, but most importantly, I think the focus and the disagreement lies solely on the House of Representatives. The Senate has some sort of decorum in this case, but they are saying that the Deputy Senate President is zoned to the northwest, and you cannot have the speakership zoned to the same zone as the Deputy Senate President. So this is what they are concerned about, that having two zones occupying two critical positions as the leaders of the 10th National Assembly, to them is not acceptable. And you'll also agree with me that other zones are still clamoring for inclusion, especially the North Central. So these are the things they want the party leadership to look at. And you will hear the members that visited firmly saying that the party will not be with them on the floor when this process is ongoing. It is better the party do the right thing and ensure that all is carried along in its consultation process. Again, the press release on Monday stated that the party only released the consensus list for guidance. It is not dying cast. So there's a possibility that it will review some certain process and then come up with something favorable for the remaining members. Nifemi.
Habidalawa live for us in Abuja. Good to see you. Well, we're monitoring and watching closely developments within the APC, bearing in mind what happened in 2015. Where none of its anointed candidates emerged, both at the Senate and the House of Reps. Does APC have enough time to fix this challenge? And has it learnt the lessons from some many years ago? Habida, thank you so much for joining us. See you again. That's our show today. Thank you for being a part of it. You can watch a repeat broadcast at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And also follow us on our social media handles. Remember to tag at Nifemi Okutu on Twitter for more on this development. Thank you for watching. See you again tomorrow.
A moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you.
Duties and rights under the various tax laws in Nigeria. Watch Tax Matters on TVC News Thursday 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News first.
The global community rolled out a bigger, deeper, and more encompassing framework called the Sustainable Development Goals, designed to transform our world, lift the poor out of poverty, as well as ensure inclusive and healthy society. On Agenda 2030, we take you on a media trip to the global destination of the future we want. With everyone on board, we focus on the people and their struggle, the civil society and their agitations, the government and her development effort, the global development agenda, its 17 goals and 169 targets. We bring you all the deliberations, insightful conversations and high-level partnerships on the road to global destination. Agenda 2030, showing on this channel. Agenda 2030, leaving no one behind.
Goal 3 of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Sustainable Development Goals provides for ensuring of healthy lives and promotion of well-being for all at all ages. In achieving this, the UN defined 13 targets and 28 indicators for the goal. The targets of SDG 3 cover a wide range of issues and particularly provided for the reduction of maternal mortality as well as ending of all preventable death for under 5 years of age. These targets of SDG 3 also cover the fight of development and universal access to affordable vaccines and medicines, increase health financing and support health workforce in developing countries, and improve early warning systems for global health risk. It is in a bid to achieving these targets that the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals has been investing massively in health infrastructure as well as well-being of Nigerians. Particularly, the office recently delivered a state-of-the-art pediatric complex at the Federal Medical Center, Ebute Metta, in Lagos.
Facilitated and commissioned by myself.
Speaking at the commissioning and handover ceremony of the facility, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Adejoke Relokbe Adefulire, stated that the complex was built by her office with the primary objective of improving child health and reducing infant mortality in line with the SDG 3. She noted that the multi-level facility has been designed to provide essential healthcare services, especially to newborn and under 5 children, focusing on improving child health and reducing preventable death at the highest standard. The complex provides for gymnasium, massage area, reception, pediatric clinic, consulting rooms, pharmacy, treatment area, nurses station, mother's waiting room, out neonatal room, in neonatal room, doctor's call rooms, kitchen, store, admission wards, recovery room, ICU, and the operating theater room, among others.
This pediatrics complex situated at Federal Medical Center, Ekiti that you are about to commission has been established with the primary objective of improving child health, reducing infant mortality, and achieving the third Sustainable Development Goals, which focuses on ensuring healthy living and promoting well-being of all ages. This clinic is without a doubt the most modern building with the most sophisticated services for our children.
As Princess Orelokbe Adefulire noted, the complex is one of the many healthcare facilities constructed and fully equipped by the OSAP SDGs across the country to advance the health goal and targets and other cross-cutting goals of the SDGs.
This facility is one of many healthcare facilities constructed and fully equipped by our office to support the sub-national government and to ensure that some of the critical sectors are well supported for sustainable development.
To ensure effective and efficient service delivery, Princess Orelokbe Adefulire promised that her office will further equip the complex with 10 units each of incubators, phototherapy machines, as well as a state-of-the-art operating theater. The presidential advisor also commended the leadership of the hospital and the entire staff of their selfless service to the country.
We will make sure that we give the ICU with 10 incubators and 10 phototherapy machines. And we will, in addition, give you one state-of-the-art theater.
Speaking during the inauguration, Alhaji Ishola Balogun Fulani, chairman of the FMC Ebute Meta Management Board, commended the leadership of OSAP SDGs for the completion of the project, which he noted would be of immense benefit to children within and outside the community. He said, with this state-of-the-art facilities and a team of highly skilled and compassionate medical professionals, the hospital has the potential to provide the best care to our young patients.
This new pediatric center is a confirmation of our commitment to the welfare of children and our dedication to providing world-class healthcare service to our patients. It is imperative to know that with state-of-the-art facility and a team of highly skilled and compassionate medical professionals, the hospital has the potential to provide the best care to our young patients.
In the same vein, Dr. Adedamola Dada, the medical director of the hospital, described the inauguration of the complex as a significant milestone in its commitment to providing quality healthcare services to children.
What you have built here is a proper pediatric center that you can use in actual fact as a reference in the hospital. The first floor is for pediatric medicine, and that also includes the neonatal intensive care unit for patients that are born in the hospital and for patients that are born outside the hospital. These two categories of patients must not be managed together. Okay? And we have a lot of children that are born outside the hospital. Many of their parents have never even gone one day to the hospital. It is when the birth process develops complication, maybe in a church or in a mosque or in a traditional birth home, okay, that they bring them here. And many of them will be delivered in those places with very severe complications, and they bring them in. And because of the exposure to infection and the rest of them, we don't like to mix those children. The care is the same. It's just that we don't mix them with children that are born here so that we don't endanger the children that are born here.
Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Adejoke Orilokpe Adefulire, in her remarks at the commissioning and handover ceremony of the facility, noted that the project is a strategic intervention directly linked to the achievement of SDG 3 on quality health and well-being for all, as well as other cross-cutting SDGs. She added that interventions like the mother and child centers across the country are also necessary to stop the primary and secondary effects of COVID-19 pandemic from reversing decades of human development gained through the SDGs. As Princess Orilokpe Adefulire noted, with its commissioning, the pediatric complex joins other numerous health facilities already delivered by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs and have been put to good use to save lives across the country. Indeed, the office also recently intervened in Lagos University Teaching Hospital by providing 6 units of elevators to aid movement of staffs, patients and materials across the multi-level buildings. This, until the intervention, has been a major challenge in the hospital.
Here we are today, we are commissioning the 6th project. The Lagos University Teaching Hospital is 60 years old, and of course definitely we have our aging facilities. And of course all our wards, admission and clinics, they are multi-level buildings, you can imagine, and of course we are taking care of patients. Definitely we need those lifts. And we are able to distribute the lift from the admin block to medicine block to surgery block to new ICU. The federal government just gave us new 30-bedded ICU, which is the biggest in West Africa. So, and a new lift was built, courtesy SSA SDG office. And also our outpatient. Our outpatient, we see an average of about 2,000 patients a day. So and now you have four levels. So definitely we need. So on behalf of Lagos University Teaching Hospital and the entire board of management and students and staff, we thank Mrs. Adejoke Orilokpe Adefulire for what she's done for us.
Speaking during the commissioning of the 6 units of elevators recently, she said that it is expedient that every health worker be equipped with modern equipment, while the environment must be made conducive for effective and efficient service delivery. The presidential advisor noted that no matter the knowledge, expertise, and experience of medical personnel, if the environment is not suitable, they won't deliver optimally. This, she said, has informed the decision by her office to continue to provide state-of-the-art equipment at the numerous health facilities the office has so far provided.
We have been intervening in different sectors: education, health, poverty reduction, gender issues, name it. And we prioritize our project to 4 health sectors, which is the 3 of the SDG, good health and well-being. And of course, the priority also goes to the education to ensure that our children are well educated, well positioned for the future. So health is wealth. If you are healthy, then there is hope for you. But if you are not healthy, then I'm sure that hope now becomes hopeless. And we don't want anybody to die young, needlessly. We want to ensure that we complement all the efforts of our consultants, of our professors, and everything. So as much as they have the intellectual capacity and ability to render services, the environment, their working environment must be also be conducive for their work to be sustainable. And that was why we have been going around the country. We have been in Kaduna and Kano State. Muritala Muhammad Hospital was completely run down and shut down. But to the glory of God, we worked there for 3 years and the hospital was opened back for work 2 years ago, and they are seeing over 5,000 patients a day. To the glory of God, it's the biggest in West Africa.
Princess Orilokbe Adefulire also promised the teaching hospital 10 incubators, 10 phototherapy machines, additional 2 elevators, and 2 new operating theaters. She added that this is necessary as health and well-being remain a cardinal part of the Sustainable Development Goals. Its centrality underscores the saying that health is wealth, and that a healthy people are a wealthy people. The interlinkages of the goals suggest that with good health, there's a high tendency of economic growth, which will in turn give room for reduction in hunger and poverty rate.
I've not been opportune to visit some of the facilities. I saw some buildings, but I've not gone inside. But I know that part of what we say we will do is to make operating theatre more sustainable. So, more sustainable because all of these things require up-to-date or state-of-the-art equipment for the consultant to work. If you don't have enough equipment, you don't have state-of-the-art equipment, no matter the knowledge that the consultant has, they will be limited in capacity to provide services. But now, for the purpose of this commissioning, I promise that we will give you a brand new theatre, 2 theatre or 2 state-of-the-art theatre operating units. 2 state-of-the-art operating theatre. Your old theatre will be replaced with a new one, 2. And 1 must be dedicated for mother and child. I say it today, 1 for general operation, for general procedure, the way they call it, I'm not the doctor. 1 for general procedure, and the second one dedicated for mother and their children. Thank you so much. So in addition to that, one of the things that I noticed since 1990, when I started personally buying incubator and phototherapy machine for the children and neonatal jaundice, they affect the prenatal, premature, and the children with neonatal jaundice that kills the young people and contributed to the high rate of maternal mortality is incubator and phototherapy machines. So we will be giving you 10 number of
In his speech, Acting Chief Medical Director, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Professor Wasiu Adeyemo, said since 1962, Lagos University Teaching Hospital has embarked on training of medical and paramedical personnel in the country and abroad. Specifically, he disclosed there has been significant increase in budgetary allocations. From 2019 to date, our capital budgetary allocation has increased about 900%. I have no doubt in mind that if this increase be sustained, our tertiary hospitals will be of the 21st century, comparable to any hospital in the world. In 2022, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals donated 300 solar power streetlights to LUTH. He said,
we were approached by our office and they promised that they're going to give us 300 solar powered streetlights, and they fulfilled the promise. They brought them and we distributed the street light to service areas, non-service areas, students area, medical student hostel, and the residential quarters. And you just need to be in lieu at night to appreciate that. What we've seen in the last 4 years, I remember 2019 when I became the CMAC. 2019 to date, we've seen about 900% increase in capital allocation to loot. That has not happened in 25 years of democracy. And I believe that if you are able to sustain that, in the next 5-10 years, many of our hospitals are going to be hospitals of 21st century. And that definitely is going to help in taking care of the issue of brain drain, and also the quality of life Nigerians are going to improve. I believe strongly. I'm also not I'm not unmindful of the fact that the legislature too, the two national House of Assembly, House of Rep, and also Senate, for developing in terms of budgetary allocation, they play a very key role too. So I want to thank the federal government. I want to thank the Senate and also House of Rep, and particularly the SDG office, the SSA to the President on SDG, Mrs. Adejoke Orelupe Adefulere.
In his remarks, Professor of Surgery and former Provost, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, LMUL, Oluwole Atoyebi, showered encomiums on the Senior Special Assistant to the President of SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orelupe Adefulere, for her invaluable contributions to the improvement of the health infrastructures in the hospital.
I'm really happy to be a witness to the beautiful job being done by the Office of Mr. President. And we want to thank the agent that Mr. President used, who is Her Excellency, Princess Adejoke Orelupe Adefulere OFR, for this. Very grateful. God bless you and continue to empower you.
As the global community continues towards attaining the Global Development Agenda, Princess Orelupe Adefulere further opined that at the heart of the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals agenda is equity, which is enshrined in its slogan of leaving no one behind. To this end, the Nigerian government, through the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, has continued to make remarkable efforts at initiating and executing various pro-poor and pro-development projects across the country, aimed at closing the implementation gap and fast-tracking the actualization of sustainable development goals in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Mama, in the movement world.
Agenda 2030 As a successor framework for the Millennium Development Goals, the global community rolled out a bigger, deeper, and more encompassing framework called the Sustainable Development Goals, designed to transform our world, lift the poor out of poverty, as well as ensure inclusive and healthy society. On Agenda 2030, we take you on a media trip to the global destination of the future we want. With everyone on board, we focus on the people and their struggle, the civil society and their agitations, the government and her development effort, the Global Development Agenda, its 17 goals and 169 targets. We bring you all the deliberations, insightful conversations, and high-level partnerships on the road to global destination. Agenda 2030, showing on this channel. Agenda 2030, leaving no one behind.
What is better than your view on weekdays? Your view on the weekend. Something special, something more. We have an extra dose of premium television experience. Your Saturday is about to get upgraded with more engagement, information, and special moments.
Let me speak pidgin. English is a problem. Don't see your parents finish. Yes. I don't know another English. Do you want to know? Finish.
Join us from Saturday, the 15th of April, 2023 at 9 a.m. for the weekend edition of Your View. Join the intelligent, dynamic, inspiring, and fearless ladies of Your View as they have the difficult conversation,
the thuggery and intimidation,
breaking down barriers and defining the narrative. Save the date as we count down to the weekend edition of the most exciting talk show on Nigerian television.
The Shared Prosperity Weekly TV series on TVC News. It is through this telecast the viewers get to know what is happening in the prosperity government of His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodinma, the Executive Governor of Imo State. Through this program, all questions agitating the minds of citizens and residents of Imo State are answered in details with documentary evidence. Don't miss it. Keep a date with us every Sunday on TVC News by 9 p.m.
As they count, Nicaragua, Namibia, and a host of others have already sent in their congratulatory messages. The ECOWAS Parliament and other ECOWAS bodies, the D8, that is, the Developing Aid Organizations for Economic Cooperation, the African Union, are among organizations that have recognized Bola Tinubu's impressive win in the presidential election held on the 25th of February, 2023.
The United States congratulates the people of Nigeria, reflecting the diversity of views that characterize the campaign and the wishes of Nigeria's voters.
Namibia also looks forward to a good working relationship with the incoming government of President-elect His Excellency Asiwayo Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The goal of world leaders is to partner with a prosperous Nigeria, the economic giant of the African continent. Tinubu's presidency is expected to usher in unprecedented growth and development across all critical sectors.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
On the news tonight, Action People's Party withdraws petition against President-elect APC and INEC at the Presidential Tribunal. President-elect Bola Tinubu departs Nigeria for Europe on a working visit. Outside Nigeria, Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan pleads not guilty to corruption charges. And in sports, it's an all-Italian clash as AC face Inter in the Milan Derby semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. This is TVC News at 7, reaching you live from our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll begin from the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, where the Action People's Party has withdrawn its petition filed against the President-elect, the All Progressives Congress and Independent National Electoral Commission. This makes it 2 petitions that have so far been withdrawn against the election of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President-elect. Judiciary correspondent Celestina Area reports.
Out of the 5 petitions filed against the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, 2 petitioners have now withdrawn their petition. On Monday, the Action Alliance withdrew its petition, and today, the Action People's Party has now followed suit. At today's pre-hearing section, counsel to the APP Obed Agu told the tribunal that the party has filed a motion on notice seeking leave of the tribunal to withdraw its petition. This, he said, is brought pursuant according to paragraph 29 subsection 1234 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act. The respondents, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, APC, INEC, did not object to the application. The tribunal subsequently dismissed the petition.
Well, the grounds is nothing more than instruction from my client. I was instructed and I had a brief to file a petition. I filed the petition. I also have another brief to withdraw the petition. And that's the grounds. As a lawyer, I was prepared to take up this matter to the last minute of it. But things change. The brief is not mine. The brief is that of my client.
The tribunal also held a pre-hearing session on the petition filed by Labour Party and its presidential candidate Peter Obi, however, adjourned to 17th May for further pre-hearing on the instance of the petitioner. Counsel to Labour Party told the tribunal that due to pending applications to be filed and served, it is important that the matter be adjourned to 17th May. He noted it was a unanimous decision by the petitioner and the respondents being INEC, APC, the President and Vice President-elect. The tribunal subsequently adjourned to 17th May for further pre-hearing. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.